back, everybody, to another week of Drena Finds Out. This week I have Miss Carmelita Hanshaw Scott, the cardigan banker, right?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you surviving the quarantine and everything?
Listen, I'm still one of those seemingly weird people that have not just gone back outside. So me and my family are still kind of locked down, except for school.
Yeah.
My kids needed to get out of my house and go back to school. So they started school in August.
I understand. I first met you at one of my events, the Gulf Coast Trap Brunch, and then again with the Biloxi City Chamber of Commerce. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my position with the Biloxi board is I chair the Diversity Council, and we've actually recently elevated that position to cover the Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce, because as you know, the Mississippi Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce has, I think, 6 divisions, like Gulfport, Long Beach, Pasco Cheyenne, Biloxi, and then we have like the Centurions, Leadership Gulf Coast, etc. So I'm just enjoying that position and being able to elevate it to the next level.
Yeah. And yeah, you were very great. Like, I enjoyed watching you in that setting. But this week we want to talk about how people can prepare their budget, their lives, their wallets, their pockets for Christmas time. And since you are the cardigan banker, I figured that you would be the best person to talk to.
Thank you. It's an honor, because this is the thing. I love to talk about money, whether it's earning more money, trying to keep more money, what to do with the money that you earn, because at the end of the day, what do we exchange for goods, services, etc.? We pay money for a roof over our head, for lights, water, etc. So money is definitely important to people. So when it comes to spending money, I like to tell people to focus on 5 things whenever you're talking about, and this could be birthday, Christmas, anniversary, whatever the case may be. The first thing we're going to start with is the overall budget. So as we know, it's COVID-19. People's pockets probably aren't what they were last year around this time. So I would think that if there was ever a year that you could have a drastic downsize in your Christmas giving, this could be the year, and you could do it without feeling bad about it, right? And I'm gonna talk about kids for a little bit, because I have several friends that have small children, and they're literally at the point where it's like, what do I buy them next? Like, do I buy them a pony, a helicopter? Because when they were 1-2 years old, they started with, they have the, remote control car, they have the PS5, they have the latest. And by the time they're 10 years old, there's nothing else you can buy that kid, because they've had an iPad for 15 years, right? So for me, I definitely like to start out with modest giving for your children and anyone else that you're dealing with. So my kids' first Christmas, I actually don't think I bought them anything but a dry erase chalkboard thing, because number one, they were turning 1 year old.
Yeah.
What did they need at 1 year old, right? Not much. Food, clothes, diapers, wipes. That's it. And so the fact that I did that, I shared that with a lot of my friends. I'm like, you didn't get them anything? No, I didn't get them anything but that little chalkboard thing. And I felt like it kind of altered the way they viewed their giving as well. So that following year, okay, now they're walking around doing a little bit more. If they're watching certain cartoons, okay, yes. And we bought a couple Paw Patrol toys here and there. And as we phased up, of course, they're 7. My twins are 7, and the baby is 2. So now they're up to where they now have tablets. They now have, this is a little fun fact too. Now, probably I'm not gonna subject jump and go crazy during this interview, but I bought an old Wii like 3 years ago, okay? My boys haven't had any sort of gaming system yet. When COVID hit, I dusted off that Wii, right? And I was like, guys, this is a game, this is blah, blah, blah. They love that thing. Well, now that the PS5 had come out, one of my twins that really likes to play games, he's like, well, Mama, there's this adventures game. Like, there's this whole world that you've hidden from me. All these. Right. So it's so funny, because me and my husband laugh about it, because when we look at Josiah playing that Wii, it's like we can barely make the characters out on that Wii, right? But he is struggling through it. So I don't know what's gonna happen Christmas time this year, but that's a little bit in terms of buying for children. Now, when you get into your other relationships, the next thing I say, start with the overall budget in terms of what you should give for kids. The second thing is prioritize by person. So of course you may not spend as much on your children as you do your mom, or maybe not your sister as your sister-in-law. So you start to prioritize by relationship. So I would think parents, husbands, spouses, children, that nuclear family, they probably will get the bulk of the budget. Then from there, you may have an office Christmas party. You may have a sorority Christmas party. And you start to drill down as you start to get further away from your nuclear family. And then thirdly, you're gonna go with the list of must-have items, right? So let's say you're doing Dirty Santa in the office. You may need a $20 item for that particular event. So that's something that you have to have. So go ahead and put $20 Dirty Santa, $100 the husband, $50 the kid. I know I'm using very small numbers, but you kind of get the point in terms of how that'll range. Because what'll happen is you may get into the store and you're looking for a Dirty Santa gift, but you're thinking about your coworkers, right? You're thinking, oh, I know Miss Tammy, she loves this perfume. I want to get this for her. That's not what we're doing. There's an amount limit, right? And there's a limit for family, coworkers, etc. But I find that people that do spend a lot for Christmas, they're very giving people and they want to gift everyone and they want that person to be pleased with their gift. But I find that the gifts that are most memorable are those handmade cards, or those certain things that maybe you make, like if you make an amazing chicken pot pie and you make it for your boss because you know he loves that pot pie, you know, so just start to change your thinking around gift giving in general. Fourth, don't bring any extra cards or money. When you come up with that overall budget, maybe it's $500, set a limit, right? Because you can do this. I know this is kind of getting into fintech, which is financial technology, but you can set a daily limit of spending on your cards, right? So for my bank account, I could say, don't go over $500 between this week or between this day. Once I get that $500, I'm gonna get a text message or email that says you've reached your spending limit. So that's gonna be my cue to leave the store, okay? And then when you've done shopping, stop looking. Don't go to the store with your best friend the next day for their gifts. Because what you're gonna find something that you like, right? So that's kind of like 5 general shopping tips. I don't know if you have any more detailed questions around those 5 topics I just rattled off real quick.
No, I definitely agree with the child thing, because I think everybody has that joke. Kids love to play with the wrapping paper in the box more at that age.
Right.
Toddler's age, they rather play with that. And I do agree that when it comes to gift giving, I'm more of a thoughtful giver, and I try to figure out what it is that person, what would matter the most to them, if not as far as like how much I spend on them. But that's how I think on Christmas. So for people out there who, so once they set their budget, they have that together, how can they ensure that they don't go over? Is that going into like what you were saying about setting that limit with their account, or only, I know a lot of people have like Christmas savings clubs. Like I do that throughout the year with my job, and I ain't gonna lie, I've gotten that money and then still added more to it because I'm like, I forgot this person, and I'm not good at making a list. And then with Amazon, like it's so easy to spend your money.
One click.
So easy. So do you have any advice for people like how I have been in the past and people that still do that?
So what I will say is when you get, and this of course it gets into how you do your regular household budgeting. So if you know that you have the tendency to overspend, I would literally pay as many of my bills as I can with that first check in December. I would just knock all of that out, because you would hate to have dipped into some bill money, right? And so, and you have this person this gift, and it's like, well, you can't exchange it for money. What do? You then pass it over to January. And I'm gonna veer a little bit because I find a lot of people, I feel like if you overspend around Christmas time, I feel like you have some other habits that probably can be nipped in the bud too. So I feel like in terms of the way some people view their annual spending is January, I know I'm going to get my income tax. I know I'm going to be good maybe until June. Maybe my company gives us a bonus in July. And I know in September it's my birthday. I may get money then. But basically, you're always looking for that next big check or for that next lump sum of money, kind of like what we recently experienced with the stimulus check, with the free EBT, not free EBT funds, somebody pays for it, but with the EBT funds that the state released to certain families. So it's kind of like, well, hey, I'm getting here, right? So that's actually one of my fears, is that when it comes to next year and when there is a vaccine, things are going to level out and there won't be a stimulus check. There won't be any extra EBT things. So that's one of those things that I'm trying to preempt for people, is to say, listen, we just may have a regular year of 24 or 26 checks along with our income taxes, right?
Right.
So I'll say this in terms of how not to overspend. Like I said just a minute ago, definitely pay all your bills, as many of your bills as you can with that first check, okay? I would suggest, if you're an overspender, I would suggest cutting certain things off. And I'm a big fan of this. I will delete my Amazon app. I will cut off like email subscriptions for things. Like literally every other day, what's that website, Shine, that clothes website? They texting me, they blowing me up all the time, like, hey, unsubscribe. I bought what I needed to buy from you. Let me disconnect from you, because they literally market every single day because it's their job to what? To sell. Right.
So where can people, because I saw your services first on Facebook. I know you have a group there about savings, and then your Instagram account is like phenomenal. Like it's filled with so much information that I feel like so many people can benefit from. So where all can people find you?
Okay, so on Facebook, I have a group and it's called How to Increase Your Emergency Savings and Credit Score. And I think I can just kind of drop the links once we post the video. And I also have a Facebook page. And that Facebook page is at CJ Shaw the brand. And it kind of gets a little bit into marketing. So my overall business is CJ Shaw the brand, right? I've been a personal photographer. I have a little clothing line that I still kind of push, online. And then I kind of started the Cardigan Banker roughly 18 months ago. And so when I started the Cardigan Banker, because I'm in the marketing field, I kind of knew this has to be a new logo, a new Instagram account. I kind of didn't want to mix the two. But because I already had that Facebook page established, I started kind of pushing some stuff through there. But technically, the Cardigan Banker doesn't have a Facebook page of its own, but it does have its own Instagram page, and it's at CJ Shaw the Cardigan Banker. At CJ the Cardigan Banker, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I checked it out last night, and I was just like, this is content like I feel like everybody needs to be following this page. So are you in charge of that? Like you create all of the stuff that's on Instagram?
Let me tell you, I am a person who is not a fan of recreating the wheel. Earlier this year, the Chamber hosted a class on Canva. Canva is an app and a website that you can use to create flyers. They have a free version and they have a paid version. The free version is literally going to provide you with everything that you need, but I went ahead and opted for the paid version because it gives you access to certain stock photos and things that just aren't available in the free version. And like I said, I just kind of came up with, okay, what's going to be my look, right? And then from there, I started looking at other pages that talk about my similar content and how are they posting. It's actually one page that I follow where every other post, it's like a color screen with words and it's a graphic. So as you scroll through her page, everything is uniform. And I kind of got obsessed with that. So I'll be like, hey, post 2 images, then post a message, then post yourself. And so it is a whole science to Instagram marketing and making sure that your page is appealing. And I feel like I can't teach someone how to budget until they like the page, right? So I definitely have to hit them with some fun graphics and some fun eye-catching designs.
Yeah, I definitely think you did a great job. So I'm hoping that people will watch this video and get some tips and tricks on how not to break the bank, and as a reminder that they got bills coming in January when they start their shopping. And hopefully bring some more people, bring awareness to your page and all the different groups you need, because I don't know anybody that doesn't need more money or better ways to save it.
Right, and I did want to circle back to what you mentioned about the Christmas Club. We definitely can't gloss over preparing. You don't prepare for Christmas in November, December. You prepare for Christmas the day after Christmas, right? So one of the things that I've often did is, okay, let's say if I was $100 under budget, I may go to the after Christmas sales and buy wrapping paper or gift bags or whatever it is I know I'm going to need for that following year. Maybe I'll even buy a toy or something for my kid that's still going to be relevant that following year. So I think in terms of budgeting, kind of like as a last thought, is preparation, just preparing for your expenses that are going to come up, because you know they're coming, right?
Definitely coming, and definitely need to stay prepared. And I do those things, like I purchase, even throughout the year, like I purchase, if I find something at dirt cheap for $1, but it's worth however many dollars, I'm like, oh, this is going to somebody's stocking, or this is going somewhere. So I definitely do that as well.
Right, and it's like the more you talk, the more these random ideas kind of hit my head. Silent auctions. I love a silent auction. I know I've purchased at least 4 different kind of packages from silent auctions, right? So most recently I did one. It was for a school that's around here. Well, everybody had to pivot and go virtual with their silent auction. So I ended up kind of hopping on the site and sifting around and looking, and I was able to buy 2 packages of things. Like one was like a mom's day out. So it may have had like a salon gift certificate, a breakfast coupon, maybe a pedicure, maybe a pair of earrings, whatever that package was. And in my brain, those are 5 or 6 gifts for my boy's teacher. So I already know, okay, this teacher's getting this gift card with this earring, and this one's getting this brunch certificate with this pedicure. So I've already knocked those things off my list. Now, granted, it was a little late in the year for me to kind of think about those things, but I know that I'm going to buy for their teachers anyway. But that was a unique way for me to do it, which is purchasing packages through silent auctions to then re-gift.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. I'm going to have to seal that.
It works. It works.
So yeah, I definitely think that we've given people a great way to keep in mind or be mindful of the way they spend their money for this upcoming holiday season and how to prepare for the next one.
Yes, and if all else fails, do some homemade gifts. Get in there, paint a picture, maybe even print out a picture of you and that person, frame it really nicely, write them a handwritten note. There's several free things that you can, well, not exactly free, of course you can pay for the printing, but there's several low-cost ideas that you can utilize as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me, ma'am. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
To get the message out around budgeting and just trying to live a more, and I say a better life, but trying to live a life where you're managing your expenses the best way you possibly can.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.